Hello friends, welcome. Friends, I am sure that many of you who is following India's electronic policies and the initiative the Indian government has taken as regarding manufacturing of electronic equipment is concerned might have seen that India had tried its level best to trigger manufacturing of computer hardware systems in India. Having failed in that initiative, India tried to impose certain restriction on import of laptops. And that seems to have been reversed because of the huge lobbying by US. That is the news item which I saw a couple of days back. Now, the purpose of the video is to make you understand with real data as to why this was so important for India. Because unless you have data and facts on grounds, it becomes very difficult to understand. Now, friends, these line items, for example, mobile phones, laptops, etc., they are all available with the government of India, but sometimes it is not in a manner that it can be easily extracted for analysis. So I will show you that the Indian government, the Commerce Ministry has got a website which can captures all this data. Now I have gone through all these websites. For example, if you go to this website, which is Data Bank for monthly, you will find that there are different types of links available, and most of the links are actually the granularity of HS codes. So you need to know the HS code, you need to aggregate those HS code and to create a table. That can also be done, but it becomes too cumbersome because this data is very bulky. So if you go here, you will find that there are so many HS codes of different items, and sometimes it becomes very difficult to manage these items. So, for example, I'll show you that there is maybe an item of electronics, but those electronic items on a primary level are not broken down into laptops, mobile phone, etc. And that you can do. Like for example, let me just show you one example. Let me just pick China here, so that you can understand what is going on. Let me just see A B C D. Yeah, so here is China, yeah, here is China. And then let's say if I go to electronics, I think there must be an item of electronics here. Yeah, electronic component, and then I say all US dollars, and then this is basically import, and I say submit. So you'll find that there is a table which comes up, which kind of becomes so cumbersome to manage that I tried, but the data becomes very bulky. But fortunately, there is one more way of doing it, which is this. So if you click here, this is basically on this tab. Let me explain to you. This is foreign trade performance analysis. So if you click this, you will get to this particular website. Here you will click and you will get to this website, this particular link. But here also, if you look at this link, this particular page, you will find that this page is very, very cumbersome from the point of view to manage. So if you see this is the page. So let me try and see if I can somehow just a minute. Yeah, let me make this a little smaller. Sorry, it became too small. You see, so this is a matrix, and this matrix, if you look at this matrix, on the x-axis you have country, and on the y-axis you have got various products. There are 25 products, and then these are all added up. Like petroleum has got added up here, and you can see that this number is 102.07796. That is $102 billion of import for the 25 countries for petroleum crude. But if you extend this beyond 25 countries, then it becomes 113 billion. Like that, each and every product has been added up here, and then not only they have added the product on this side, on the side of all the rows have been added up, but the columns have also been added up. Like if you see, there are 25 products, they are all added up here. for the countries, 25 plus all products for all countries. Like if you see here, this says that subtotal of 25 countries of commodities, this 25 commodities, China for example, if you take, all these products are there, they are added up, and then if you extend this beyond 25, then this is the figure that you come. Now, if you look at this sheet, this is so cumbersome to manage. Why it is so cumbersome? Because this is only for a month. Like that, you will have so many sheets. Maybe there are some thousands of sheets that you actually have to extract. And like, you go here, there's import tab, then you have to select a month, then you select a year. And then after doing a selection, then you have to select the number of rows and columns that you need. We have this number, this can be between 1 to 25, then US dollar, and then submit. This is a mind-boggling complex issue. So what I did was I actually created a code which kind of drives this page automatically and extract all the information automatically and puts this in a data frame. So what I've done is that I've stored this in a data frame here. You see, after having done that, what I have done is I have created a dashboard. So 2 dashboards have been created, and this is where the meat of the presentation would be, and you will understand where this whole thing is going, and you will find it very interesting. Now let me explain this dashboard. It might look very overwhelming, but it will be very simple. That data has been aggregated in this form. Now this part on the left hand side of your screen is a dashboard which you can filter out using name of a country. You see, you can pick a name of the country. All those countries you saw on x-axis, they can be picked up here. Here you can actually pick up products, see, which are all the y-axis, right? And then what has happened is the data matrix has been extracted out, and month by all the rows and columns have been aggregated such that you can get a monthly or quarterly or an yearly view, so that you can actually get a zoomed in, zoomed out, whatever way you want to see the information, and that becomes very powerful. Now, if you look at one of the metrics, there is a bottom table, there is a top table. Now, what has happened is that, let me just show you again so that you can appreciate what I am talking about, otherwise it becomes very difficult to appreciate. It is not just about doing the analysis, it is about trying to tell you from where the data is extracted and what you can do with the data, right, yourself. So let me just show you the table again. Let me run this table again for imports on January 2024, and you will find, let it come. Yeah, so you will find that these columns and these rows have to be extracted out as well. So you need the information between the table as well as the information which is added up, all the columns and the rows added up. So that information, what I have done is that I have put it here. So if you look at this particular table on your left hand side of your screen, you will see that total all country product monthly basis has been put out here. So total import in absolute terms has been till January on a cumulative basis till January. If you start with the financial year FY 23-24, from April it started with $49 billion. Now it has reached $560 billion. All countries, all products. Similarly, if you add 25 countries, all products, it is $474 billion. It started with $41 billion, and then if you just do 25 countries and 25 products, it is $386 billion. I think you've probably understood now what I'm talking about. And then, if you want to drill down on a country basis, for example, if you see this number, $386 billion, you see it matches. Because this table is for 25 countries and 25 products. Because there are 25 products on the y-axis, and then the countries you can actually filter out from here, right? So you will find that if you pick all the countries, then this particular row will match this row, which is basically sum up all the columns, right? Sum up all the columns, right? So this was important for me to make you understand, but otherwise this will become too complex to understand. Similarly, here also the same thing I have done. Instead of putting products here, I have put countries here because that was a matrix, right? So I have to do analysis on both direction because I need to have visibility. So I put countries here, and then I'm picking products here, just like I'm putting countries here. That's how. Now, why this becomes so important, so easy and useful? Because I know which country has got the maximum imports, because that will show up in the top, right? The China has got the maximum import. So what I can do is that I can pick China here, right? I can go and pick. I can enter China here. So if I put China here, then what will happen is that you get an aggregate value of China in this row, right? On a monthly basis. Look at this number, $56 billion. Here is the $56 billion, right? So all these rows, 58, 4, 9, all these numbers that you see here in this row, these are basically added up here. See this? So this is basically nothing but all the components, all the products that you're importing from China will get added up, which has been shown in one single line here, which has now been extracted out into different products. That is how it is, right? So this is how I am basically want to. Now let's go straight to laptops, because that's where the discussion is, right? So what is happening with laptop? For that, what I have to do is that I have to pick from here computer hardware and peripherals. So if I pick computer hardware and peripherals here, now you will see that on a monthly basis, right, on a cumulative monthly basis, actually cumulative basis, not a monthly basis, cumulative, it is a month series, but it starts from financial year FY23 and it has gone to January, because the data that we have is up to January. So till January we have imported how much? $12.3 billion of computer hardware, right? Now, $12.3 billion of computer hardware out of how much? Out of total import of $560 billion. This is the number, right? So if you do, let's do this. Let's do the following. If I pick all products, let's say if I picked all products, let's do computer hardware, otherwise this will be a little confusing. Let's go straight to computer hardware. So computer hardware, $12 billion is what we are importing. Now $12 billion, if I do here, if I basically take what is computer hardware here? Computer hardware must be, ninth item. See, look, $12.35 billion. And then if I take a percentage here and see what is the percentage of computer hardware that we are importing, if you consider this as 100, the total 25 products as 100, if you add everything 100, you'll find that crude is 26% of the imports. Then we have coke and coal and coke, which is 7.74% of the imports. Then gold is 3.51% of the import. Petroleum product is 7.15. Electronic component is 7.01. Then we have got precious stones 4.66, iron and steel 3.39%, then plastic 3, computer hardware is 3.2%. So 3.2%, $12 billion is a huge amount of money, right? So if we are able to manage our because again, let me do the absolute, if you do an absolute, you'll find that petroleum crude, the cumulative basis, we actually have $102 billion. Now, electronic components is $27 billion, right? And then on top of it, which you add $12 billion, 27 plus $12 billion is how much? It comes out to be around $40 billion. So imagine $40 billion of imports on electronic components and computer hardware. Then on top of it, if you add another $12 billion of telecom instrument, how much it becomes? 40 plus 12, $52 billion. $52 billion. And then there could be some miscellaneous other electronic items. So $60 billion, around between $50 to $60 billion of imports that we are doing on electronic items, in spite of the fact that we actually have PLI, right? Now let's do one more thing. Let's do exports. Now, if we do exports, let's see what we are exporting and how much we are exporting. Our total export on a monthly basis cumulative export. Let's say if we start with April 21, for this 25 items, we started with $17.7 billion. We have reached up to $180 billion, right? Now, if you add all other items, it becomes $258 billion, right? Because this is only 25 items, 25 items that I'm showing here, this has been added up here. So if you add rest of the items which has not been shown in this dashboard, it is $258 billion. And then if you add all other countries which are not part of the dashboard, it becomes $353 billion. So $353 billion is the total import that India is importing. And just to give a reference, total export. I'm sorry, total export, not import. But if you just make a reference on import, then if you see it is $560 billion. So we are importing $560 billion when we are exporting how much? Total export is $350 billion, and then this 25 items for 25 countries is $180 billion. Now, if you just look at the electric machinery and equipment, where is that? Electronic instrument, right? And electronic components. See how minuscule our export is. Electronic component is $3.4 billion and electronic instrument is $2.8 billion, right? And there could be some other items here. I probably understand. Telecom instrument, it is $11 billion. So if you add everything, there is a huge gap. It is $11 billion, and then we have got $11.4 billion, then we have got $2.8 billion, and then maybe electronic component $3.4 billion, roughly around $15 billion, right? So $15 billion versus $50 billion of imports, maybe more than that. So that is where the problem that we in India is facing, right? And now the next question to ask is, let's do computer hardware and see who is the largest import, from where we are importing the largest, which country we are importing the largest. Now you can very clearly see that we have imported computer hardware worth $6.9 billion from China till January. Then why US is bothered? If we are importing from China $6.9 billion, why US? US we have imported only $650 million of computer hardware. You get the answer? All the factories of US companies are in China, and from there they are exporting computer hardware equipment from China to India. So maybe Apple has got their Mac manufacturing plants are there. So if it is actually China may be exporting electronic hardware to us, but why should be the US be concerned? So that is the reason why I was trying to do this video, to make you understand that it is not as simple. The geographical dynamics of trade is not that simple, and India actually has a huge problem as far as electronics are concerned. Our trade deficit numbers are going up because of electronics, and PLI is not working. PLI as of date is not working. We might be talking about PLI, and that is why, because PLI is not working, people are not interested in manufacturing of laptops and hardwares in India. Mobile phone they are doing, because mobile phone the value add is very small. The big players who are manufacturing mobile phone, they are doing a value of 5%, 6%. Maybe a few other companies may be having larger value add, but the major player are doing value. And that is why the industry lobbies are going and telling the government that they want to reduce the duties on mobile phones. Now, why would you advocate for reduction of duties on mobile hardware? If you are manufacturing in your country, then you should add value here. You should not be required to import. So the game is quite different, and I feel sometimes sorry and very, very I feel unhappy about the situation, that where we are basically heading as far as electronics is concerned. We are not able to contain it, though government is trying their level best, and I am quite hopeful they might be able to, because of the interest and because of the focus. But look at the numbers right in front of you. We have not been able to contain electronic hardware imports. And that's why this non-trade barrier, which the government wanted to impose on laptops, which they haven't been successful because of the huge lobby. It's a huge stake. $12 billion worth of import that we are making, and And big companies are basically selling laptops to us. There could be Chinese companies as well, but why US is important? Because US companies have huge stake. They have been manufacturing plants in China, from there directly exporting to India. Okay, so I hope that you have understood. There are many other things to talk about, by the way. This metric is so rich, you will not understand. You will basically find it extremely powerful. For example, if you want to look at crude petroleum, right? I'm just giving you just a peek so that you understand what is going on. Let's say if I do crude and petroleum crude, and then you will be able to see that how the petroleum crude import and imports have been changing. Look at this. Let me do another time scale. Let's do year time scale. Then you will get a better picture where we are. See, Russia, nothing. Now suddenly, all our imports from Russia is basically on crude. Like if I go here and show here Russia, if I type Russia here, this is export, sorry. Let me just do import. And then you will be able to see that how powerful this table is. I do Russia. And then I pick Russia. And you will find that most of our imports from Russia is crude. And if I do a percentage, and you will find that 78% of our imports from Russia is crude, and we are hardly anything we are exporting to Russia. That is why this rupee, ruble trade did not succeed, because we are not exporting anything to Russia meaningful. We are just importing. And how much we are importing in absolute terms? You see here, $50 billion of worth of equipment of goods that we have imported till January. And last year, how much we have done? $44.8 billion. And this year, till date, of this 24 products, we have imported 49. Now, if you consider other product, it is 51, which basically means that we will shoot to around $60 billion of worth of import from Russia, right? Anyway, and if I compare China, this is just to give you a preview as to what else we can do in order to understand, where we are. China is $85 billion worth of import. So Russia is kind of touching China's import as far as goods are concerned because of petroleum, right? Many things we can do about. This is a fantastic, dashboard that I've been able to extract because of that. If you go to the Ministry of Commerce table, you will not be able to get anything out of it because that is a single static data, one single sheet. You will not be able to do any correlation. You will not be able to choose time scale. So I put a lot of effort to create this dashboard, to do all this analysis, to give me those insights. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. And I will be back with a new video next time. Thank you very much.